Hi guys, I know it's been a little bit since I've been on. I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about all the changes that are occurring. This is going to be brief. I ended a meeting a little bit early. So a few things that I guess you guys have noticed that is different. This is just impromptu. I'm changing, like physically, I'm changing. Every day I get up and I look different in the mirror. My body is changing, my face is changing, my hair is changing. I sometimes don't recognize the woman in the mirror anymore. And so I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about that because this is the third time that I have done this. And this has been the hardest time for me this time around. The first time that I died, you could say, and I came back into my body, was one time. It took adjustments, and this has been the largest adjustment of my life. So I wanted to talk to you and kind of give you guys an idea of everything that I've gone through. Just so you can know that I'm not in any way, hi guys, avoiding anything. It was just kind of, I needed time to still even adjust to everything, you know. I woke up and I wasn't the same at all. And I realized that a lot of what I do with you guys by talking to you, by activating you guys, all of this was actually done to me. And so the more that you guys received these downloads, the more that I changed physically, until suddenly I wasn't the same person anymore, like not even close. And it's been quite an adjustment. Many of you, when I talk to you guys about the dreams, for example, and some of the crazy dreams you're having and how I know what's going on with the collective, it's because what you don't realize is everybody maybe felt a small percentage of those dreams, but I went down the hole, and every one of your bad dreams, I took them on in order to move the collective through the universe. Like, I wasn't allowing anyone to stay behind. So I went into the deepest, darkest depths of what you guys would consider hell to be, right? Your biggest fear, the things that hold you back, the things that made you afraid to step up and step out, whatever the case may be, but those things, right? I took all of that on. And the only way I could do that would be to not be afraid, and to have a level of zero fear, like zero fear, while I take on your worst nightmares and get you past it. The reason I say that is because many of you, what you've noticed is your desires have changed a little bit, or the things that made you afraid, let me give it back up a little bit. Imagine that you felt limited for a long time because you feared the unknown. And so I got you past that so that your fears are behind you. And so now your desires and what you want and everything you want has totally changed. But it's literally a flip of a switch, where now you're either going to step into your story that you've always wanted, or you're going to decide, oh, I didn't really want that after all, or that's not okay. And for many of you that have been putting up with things, you're not doing that anymore. You're not doing that anymore. And so what you guys were feeling is somewhat all of that energy at once, right? But at the end of the day, you're so much better off, you know? And I don't want to make it seem like I was some kind of sacrificial lamb. It was more like that was my job. If you reach this level of understanding and you're no longer afraid, then who better can to do it than to descend into that kind of darkness, right? And that's what I want to remind you of, guys. It's that the only thing that's ever stopped you from being truly yourselves is your ring of fear. That's it. Like nothing else, right? And you guys were born with this ring of fear, and I've explained this before. The ring of fear is what allows you to hold your identity in place. The false one. Not your God state, but the false one. The one that for me was known Cindy, or for Maria is known as Maria, or for Dimitri is known as Dimitri, or for Angel is known as Angel, or for Janine is known as Janine. This is a sort of false identity that you use in 3D, but it's knowing how to use it that changes everything, okay? Because if you learn to accept who you are, then the very best of everything is waiting for you around the corner. The whole life that you've dreamed of, the guy, the woman, the whatever it is, you know, the life's purpose, the complete and total direction change, the acceptance of 100% of your universal awareness has been activated. And so I want to talk to you guys about that, because we're going to start doing a lot of different programs, but I'm in the middle of some huge transitions in my life, and so bear with me, because I've changed too, like a lot, you know. It's not even a question of do we evolve. Yes, we evolve. I'm coming to grips with the fact that this is the third incarnation I've had in this same body. Third. And I never die. I end up in the same body. So I'm assuming that this is the body that I'm supposed to have, but my self-concept has changed drastically. Whereas in the little things I used to want before, I don't want anymore. And there's a much bigger picture at hand. And so that's what I'm coming to grips with and what I'm embracing. And I want to be honest with you guys and kind of say that, you know, it is a lot. It is a lot. But I live for this stuff. I live for this stuff. Like, this is my life's purpose. To get you guys in alignment, to activate God state, to go after your dreams. Like, why should we play small right now when we can collectively change the weather? You know, individually change the weather. We can resurrect the dead. We can move past, present, and future because we're eternal. We don't exist in 3D like we did before. And many of you are coming to grips with understanding that. I don't play in the 3D space like that. I enjoy the 3D space. But, see, if what is above must come down below, then understanding how to manage what is above so that you can enjoy what is below is key. So yes, I guess I'm a 5D teacher more than a 3D teacher. And that comment, and I want to apologize, set up an uproar that was unnecessary. Because in some way, I guess maybe it felt as if it was a jab and at someone or whatever, and that's not what it is. See, everybody's role is important. If you can get your 3D concept great, okay, then you start working with your 4D and your 5D concepts, and then you get to enjoy your 3D. So that 3D coach is just as necessary as the 5D coach, because if you don't speak 5D language, you're going to be confused by everything we're saying, right? And so everyone plays an important role, and it's never meant to diminish anyone. It's never meant to say that someone is less than another person, because we're all equally God here. We just have different points in our awareness where we must serve in our roles in order to save people. Save's not the right word. in order to help people remember who they are. So we stand in each other's light, and we stand as guidance for one another, okay? It was never, ever meant to be a job, but here's the thing. I need to be drama-free. I need to be drama-free. I can't have all of this stuff because I don't exist in fear. And I want to tell you about the importance of that. You see, if your heart is responsible for what you see below, and it's actually your heart and mind light together, okay? Your mind is the humble servant that helps you understand your past. Your heart, however, has millions of sensory neurites that can see beyond what the brain can see, and that is your connection to your eternal self. Both are necessary. Once you connect to that understanding, there's no room for fear. There's none. And I tell you this because if everything is created instant, how horrible is it to be afraid and have your worst case scenario that you never wanted to face happen instantly? It'd be too much. It'd be too much. So in 3D, that was necessary. You had to have a little bit of a delay to give you time. But we're not in that space anymore, and we haven't been for a while. And so making that adjustment is why I'm here. It's what I do. As the light bridge, I serve in the middle to help you guys reach that level of understanding. But first and foremost, the fear, it can't exist. It can't exist. Because when we fear, we distort the field. When we fear, we lose their loved ones to a third party, to the need to hold them, you know? We lose to expectations. We lose out on our careers. We lose out on so much that the most important thing I can ever do for you guys is say, we gotta cut that out. Like, you can't go with you, right? Because I want to tell you that the happiness that you guys deserve is on the other side. That love that you're dreaming of is on the other side. And it lights you up. It lights you up from within. And physically, you become a different person. Your face starts changing. Your eyes get brighter. You start getting thinner, if that's what it is, you know. It just changes. It just drastically changes. You're not the same person. Like, even my hair. Like, I'm loving my hair today. I don't even know how this happened, but I'm having a good hair day, as curly as it is. Do you see what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is that only comes from the peace of knowing who you are, from the acceptance, full self-acceptance of yourself. And fear isn't part of the equation. Knowing how to distinguish between your heart and your brain is, it's almost as if I want you guys to know the intelligence that's required is beyond your level of mind understanding. And so it's about reversing your thinking. It's about understanding how to use the blank moment. It's about realizing that the internal process of creation it's always now. And so if you guys have been stuck in a pattern, the reason that you were stuck in the pattern is when you incarnated, you came in with your full recording intact. So that at any point in time, you could wake up, stop the recording, and fill it in with your essence. How do you recycle your experiences and turn the worst of the worst of the worst that you've ever gone through and turn it into the most beautiful story you've ever heard? Right? Your story. Your story. Because it's not even my story. It's how do you use your ego, false identity, as a megaphone to inject your essence, your uniquely beautiful, all-encompassing, existing essence, and turn that into a work of art. That was our job. That was our job. There's nothing else. We were supposed to fall in love with ourselves. And see, many of you fall in love with the mirror, which is easy to do because it's you, but it's the wrong order of operations. It totally is. The correct order of operations is fall in love with yourself first and foremost. Choose you first. And what you will find is the exact thing that you've always wanted will show up. And what you all must learn to do is reconcile. Okay? Because for many of us, it might mean a new body. It might mean a new body. Okay? And I'm saying this because I'm speaking to women that I've been dealing with in Hungary, for example. Okay? And I've seen two sides of the same coin. One person managed to change her self-concept so drastically, and I'm so proud of her that she did it in 6 months. Her SP is now working with her and is living the dream life that he wanted because she figured out how to fill in the blanks for him and in essence give herself what she wanted. Either way, she served the mirror, but she got what she wanted. Another woman in Hungary couldn't be with her SP due to a marriage. And this is not a judgment. This is not a judgment. Okay? But they loved each other so much that he created another body for her. Okay? And he's so into her. And she says, he reminds me so much of of my twin flame. It's crazy. Or what she knows is her twin flame. And the reason that is because she had to be with her soulmate, not her twin flame right now. She wasn't ready. It's still the same essence. It's still the same energy. Bodies are illusions. And I mean this sincerely. But you get to choose which body you are going to bless. You get to choose that. And this is not forget about your SP story. No, you get to choose that. However, if you hold on to all the resentments that you've ever had, you're not going to enjoy that body ever. You're going to get stuck in a feedback loop. So this is about real forgiveness of self. This is about, please stop projecting fears into your reality. This is about realizing that it's okay to feel your desires. And it's okay for these concepts to change. And it's okay to become a totally different person. Because the thing is, and I've said this before, and it's been said in the community, but I don't think it's been explained properly, except for maybe by Josiah Brandt, and that is free will is an illusion. And that sets everybody up in an uproar because they don't understand. So let me explain. See, free will is an illusion because your self-concept is whole and complete. It comes in with all of the ideas, all of the things already intact. In essence, when you truly know what you want, all you do is show up. And the people, places, and things appear out of nowhere exactly as you wanted, exactly as you expect. And so the illusion of free will is because your desire at the end of the day is what's dictating, right? And your desire is God's will for you. And when you stop judging those desires and just accept them as real because you move your head out of the way and you stop being afraid, the whole thing just lights up. And Kelly, who's watching, she actually says this. She says it's like you're the light, you're the lamp that's under your feet. And you truly are. Okay? But the concept is, I'll explain. If you run into a ton of contrast, your fear, does your desire get stronger or not? The answer is, your desire gets life-crushingly real. It becomes the only thing you want. And you know why that is? Because it's your only lifeline. It's your lifeline. That's it. That's what's going to move you forward so that you don't stay stuck in a pattern. And so then that free will is a huge illusion. Because if you're God and you know you're God and your desires are God-given, then that dictates who you are. Bottom line. Okay? Now the illusion is that that's not the case. The illusion is that you guys choose because it looks as if the patterns were pre-made before you got there. And in a way they are. They are. In a good way, right? In the way that you chose the patterns before you were ever born, and the recording is what you're supposed to wake up to, and once you become consciously aware of how toxic your recording has been because you went too far from your light of understanding, life gets painful. And the reason life gets painful is because you're not being true to you. You're settling. You're settling for what society thinks you should have, for your patterns and your parents, for all the things you came to evolve, not repeat. Evolve. Many of you, and I can attest to this, my daughter, she's living the exact same pattern I lived. Exactly. I'm not confused about the direction of her life. But here's the difference. Me, I changed to give these kids a fighting chance. I changed. I went into the extreme past to affect the extreme future, and my daughter is going to have the best life ever. Why? Because all of the patterns that I came to transmute are gone. Our generational stuff, gone. I've let it all go. I've shed it all. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. And you have to learn to be patient and acceptance of this emptiness and this void. So that's the other thing I want to tell you. There's going to be this moment where you're going to be in the void and you're not going to know how to feel. It's going to feel empty, and if you say it out loud, it almost sounds as if you're depressed. You're not depressed. You're not depressed at all. Okay? What you are making peace with is the emptying out of your vessel because your old stories do not serve you anymore. And so you must be emptied out of everything you think you are in order to activate your God state. And if you're holding on to a false identity without knowing how to use it as your megaphone and your megaphone alone, then you're going to have trouble with the void. Okay? And in 3D, that's what you guys were doing. You guys were afraid of the void. And that's the ring of fear that kept you in place and limited. I've removed that. It's gone. It's gone from the entire world. Its shadow is called COVID. That's gone now. It's gone now because if you guys understand what COVID is, now you can use the darkness for something else. And most of you have. Most of you, if you honestly admit, COVID has forced you into a cocoon and forced you to figure out who you are. And it has served you in ways that you almost haven't really maybe admitted, and some of you maybe have, in that maybe a job was removed that you no longer wanted. Maybe a partner was removed that you no longer wanted. Maybe suddenly you started developing yourself. Maybe you had time to meditate. Maybe you had time to enjoy your family, right? Those are all using the darkness to your advantage. And that's what 5D beings do. They look at the darkness and they understand the God design, and they know how to make the no thing, the nothing, the big void, into something. Because it's not a void. So let me explain. What you all call the void is actually everything at once. Everything. And because you cannot intellectually conceptualize everything at once, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I asked you guys to see 600 years into the future and tell me what exists there now, except for some friends I have in Amsterdam and a few stragglers here and there that are my tribe of ultralight beings, they can't do that. You guys can't. You can't conceptualize 600 years into the future, can you? Except for the ones that I know are not from this planet and that know what 600 years in the future look like. Me being one of them. Okay? So, if that is the case, then how that appears to your eyes is a void. It's an emptiness. So I want to talk to you about how you guys have dealt with the void. Drugs and alcohol, sex, shopping, relationships, things, material things. Okay? And you've probably spent a long time feeding these things, and at this point, you reach the point in your awareness where none of those things work for you anymore. You don't want the fancy bag anymore. You don't want this, that, and the third anymore. Because it doesn't fill the void. Doesn't. You guys have no idea. Before I died the second time, when I died the second time, before I moved to North Carolina, because this is my third death. When I died the second time and I moved to North Carolina, the person I was in DC used to shop. That's what she did. She filled the void with stuff. A lot of stuff. And here's what I learned. It can never be filled. It's an eternal thing. And you can try. I mean, look at celebrities. Look at Michael Jackson, right? He had a zoo in his house. Anything he wanted, right? Look how sad he was. Look how sad he was. He died of an overdose. Meaning that the answer is not found in the material world. Okay? But if you understand the void and you understand how to use it, that's a whole new level of existence. Because it's the existence that God wanted for you. And once you discover that God's will was perfect and pleasing for you, your whole life changes. And everything at once looks very different. And you stop trying to fill the void. Drugs, alcohol, sex, men, women, clothes, cars, houses. They mean nothing. However, when you're in alignment, you get them all anyway. You get them all anyway. And you don't have to affirm, create self-concepts. You don't have to do any of that. It comes anyway. It shows up perfectly. First and foremost, though, you have to make peace with who you are. You can't hold on to resentments. Now, if I held on to the resentment I felt for my father, I'd never enjoy a relationship. If I held on to the resentment I held from my mother, I'd have a crappy relationship with my daughter. If I held on to the self-perceived injuries that I thought was happening to me, like people did stuff to me, I'd never be able to serve you guys and stand here and say, yeah, the worst of the worst has happened to me. Look at me though. It was worth it. It was worth it. But the thing is, you have to make peace with this because you're the gatekeeper. What I do is help people achieve the state known as heaven on earth. I'm good at it. I'm damn good at it. And this is not bragging. This is not anything. I'm good at it because this is where I exist now. And so this is what I'm predominantly projecting onto people. And so that they can have what they want. Light years of information get transmitted into your soul, and you eliminate the need for therapists. You eliminate the need to repeat history. And now you gain universal dominion. That's priceless. Totally is priceless. So that's what I want to tell you guys, in that I want to remind you that we're all going through some heavy duty changes, but I need you guys not to be afraid, because if you're going to fear, you're going to not get any closer to what you want. But so many of you have changed so drastically that you don't even recognize yourselves either. You haven't noticed the difference, is what I'm saying. Like, if you really take into account where you were 6 weeks ago and where you are now, it's like night and day. So I apologize for not being on as often as I should have. If you can forgive me for dying, grieving my death, and making peace with the new resurrected version of me, then that's all that I was doing during my time away. We have a lot of new stuff going on. I really want to bring on more guests because I need you guys to hear these changes in people. I need you to see the light years of changing that's going on. I'm also forming partnerships with people in Amsterdam whom I know to be ultra-light beings from the future. I can serve as a bridge for them because they don't exist in 3D in the same manner, shape, and form. And many of them were sort of frozen, like an egg. They needed to protect their energy before they can come out into the world in this exact time. But then adjusting, sorry about my dog, but then adjusting to that is where I come in. Okay? Because, you guys, I'm dead. Not in the way that you guys think, but I'm on the other side of the veil. And all I do is use my body as a megaphone to tell you what's on the other side of the veil. I do see through walls. I can remote view people. I can see your divine blueprint. There are so many things here that are not even close to being normal. One day long ago, my sister, Ana Maria, awesome thing that we did not grow up together and we're identical, right, in our abilities. But one day long ago, Ana Maria said, Cindy, one of these days you're going to open a door and you're not going to like it. What do you do when you do that? And I kind of laughed because in that moment I wasn't like her at all. Because the truth is, I don't regret opening any door. In fact, I'm opening doors for everybody and their mother. Because we're not playing small anymore. We're not playing small anymore. So I wanted to tell you that. There are some things in the works. We have a podcast coming called Sessions with God. We have more interviews where you'll be meeting more of the team members. We're going to be introducing introductory group therapy sessions at discounted rates. As the problem is, I'm repeating myself 20 million times. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to take 20 of you at once, and we're going to deal with it together. It's the most effective use of my time. We're going to be introducing courses like Beyond the Veil. I'm going to be doing the color workshop, introducing your aura, how to understand your aura, how to use your aura to create in 3D. We're going to be introducing the Course in Love. We're going to be introducing a new workshop specifically for women. I am forming a partnership with these ladies, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to start from September to October or so, in that frame, 8 weeks. And what it's going to be about is, once I activate you to God state, many of you, now that you're activated and you know you can become and do and say anything, you kind of go, now what? And so I just got introduced to amazing people that know your divine blueprint and that can help bring that out. So there's a lot of new stuff that is happening, even though it looked like I was kind of not here. And I'm really excited to be able to present all of these things for you. This is my life's purpose, you guys. I don't want anything else. This is it. And we're all collectively changing the world. But it's the people that have the courage to stand up and be themselves that actually do change the world. And so what am I doing? I'm helping everybody figure out who they are beyond the veil. Because there's the 3D identity, and then there's the God state. And the God state is when you become the living word of God. That's what I am right now. There isn't one word in the Bible that I have not lived through, including the crucifixion, which is what I just went through. Not one word. I'm the living word of God. I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up. In fact, the Gospel of Thomas, that's the key that unlocks the Bible. And to make it so that everybody becomes aware of being the living word of God, because obviously I'm not alone. It's universal. Yeah? So anyway, that's it for today, you guys. I'm sweating like crazy. It's hot outside in North Carolina. You can see my sunshine. It's crazy. So anyway, you guys, that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of comfort. I know you guys are changing. You guys are changing so much. Make peace with all of this stuff. Don't worry about the nightmares you're having. That means if you had that nightmare, you just moved in mind, so you moved past your fears. So get excited about your nightmares, because hello, you didn't have to live it. You just had to dream it real quick, which is like living it, but you kind of like took the shortcut in your awareness. And I'm looking forward to what's to come, all the changes that are coming, and all the activations, because I want you to hear. People, after talking to us, are now telepathic. They're telepaths. People, after talking to us, activate their sense of their extrasensory abilities get turned on immediately. And I wish I could say I was making it up, but I'm not. They're activated instantly. And I enjoy this a lot, because there's no reason to be sad anymore. There's no reason to be sad anymore. There's no reason to worry about loss. There's no reason to worry about money. There's no reason, because you are it. And once you understand how you are it, it changes everything in your life. So the other thing is, my website is sort of done. I can start booking. I want to make a few changes to pricing. I'm going to keep my regular clients as is. So there's a lot, and I also want team members They're training with me right now, which is why the group calls are so important, because in order for me to teach these group things, I'm not going to be available as a coach individually as much. So I need my team. And a lot of you are ready to do this now. And so my goal is to help you all establish yourselves as corporations, and as a corporation, we move together. And you're independent, and we are partners, and we grow like that. I'm not making people small, and then there will be people that will partner with us in ways because they want to do this type of work, and everyone's going to specialize in different things. We have team members that specialize in everything 3D. We have people that specialize in tools, subconscious tools. We have people that specialize in sound and healing and, just everything that we are. I'm a healer. I'm a metaphysician. I'm not just a doctor, I'm a metaphysician. And I'm also a really decent life coach. But only because I activated the God state. And then you activate that determines who you are. And so living as anything less is painful. So that's what we're going to do, you guys. We're going to let go of all this stuff, and we're going to step into our power, and we're going to go do this in the middle of COVID, because COVID is not a threat. Not even close. Not even close. Like, I could walk into a hospital full of COVID people and never catch it. Not wear a mask. Don't need it. Don't need it. And I know people will look at me, those that don't know God's state will look at me, and they'll be like, what? But see, I've been diagnosed with cancer, and in the same day gotten rid of the cancer. So I was like, oh, no. We're not going to go there. And am I alone? No. Because we had a Zoom meeting where 3 women said the exact same thing about themselves. Instant healing. So if you can be instantly healed, you don't even need to get sick. But it's the people that don't know that they have this power that might laugh at me and call me ignorant. It's not ignorance. It's knowing who you are. And until you do, you don't activate your superpowers. But everybody deserves to activate their superpowers, because it's who they really truly are behind the veil. So that's about it, you guys. It's really, really hot out here, so I didn't want it to be that long. My poor dog, can you hear him panting? Thank you guys for your patience. Thank you for everything that I've been, for supporting me the way that you have. I couldn't do this without you. It's my 3rd death. 3rd. 3rd. And each time I become a different version. Every time I think I've woken something up and something new comes in. So it's a never-ending journey, but it's a good one. And I know I'm gonna start getting back to more of you. I want to put the calendar up because it's hard to keep up with the demand. I made calculations, and I have been supporting 500 people by myself, working from 8:30 to 2:30 in the morning, trying to be there for all of you. That's 500 on my own, on a regular basis. And it's a lot. And I haven't even scratched the surface of what's to come, because my granddaughter's already told me how big it gets. So, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your support. Thank you for trusting me during this journey. Thank you for everything. Everything. Mostly, though, thank you for teaching me who I am. Thank you. Because, I don't know. I don't want to go back. All right, you guys. I love you so much. I hope everyone's good, and we will be talking more regularly. I might not do this outside thing until the sun is like cooler. Just hot. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.